Detective Casey has just come off the witness stand for the final time. The prosecution will rest their case, and Darrell will be in tears over what to do next. Welcome back, everyone, to Wisconsin versus Darrell Brooks, Day 11. Unfortunately, nothing goes as the court planned the rest of the day because Brooks wants to cause as much chaos as he can before he gets thrown in prison. In this video, we will see his opening statements. I mean, if you want to call it that. And 2 more witnesses called by the defense. So let's get to it.
The record in State versus Brooks appearances are as they were before. I think the audio needs to turn on. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let me do that again. We are back on the record. State versus Brooks appearances are as they were before.
I don't consent to being called that name for the record.
Are there any issues related to exhibits or other things before I bring the jury back out for what I believe will be the state resting?
No, Your Honor, I do believe that I did check with your clerk. Everything that we have offered and admitted matches what the court has, so I believe we are good on that.
I had one question about Exhibit 89, and I don't know if I missed in my notes.
Okay.
What do the parties' notes reflect on whether that was received?
I showed that it was offered and admitted before it's published, or it wasn't published to the jury. But if not, we would move Exhibit 89 into evidence.
And do you recall what Exhibit 89 is?
It's a certified bail form.
No. I'm asking Mr. Brooks. So,
sorry.
That was the second of the 2 bail bonds. Do you have a recollection of whether it was received?
I don't.
All right, and then what was...
I objected to it.
I know you objected when it was, I think, displayed for the witness who then testified about it. I'll receive it and also advise the jury. Were there any other exhibits? I have one other issue on evidence and exhibits as well, but are there going to be any other exhibits that we need to tidy up the record in front of the jury with?
I don't believe so. I know at one point someone caught that we moved, it was either Exhibit 175 or 178 into evidence, and the court admitted either 165 or 168 on the record, so I don't know.
So maybe just had a misspeak.
Yeah.
You have any recollection of that, sir?
Recollection of what?
Related to what the state just put on the record. Do you know what was that? What witness that was?
That was Detective Casey.
Look at that. 175 was the screenshot taken from the video. I know I have a note that it was received and published. And you believe I may have just referenced it by the wrong name?
I thought it was 178. I thought you referenced it by the wrong number. So it was either 175. 175 was referenced as 165, or 178 was referenced as 168.
What is 170? I know that 175 is what I just said.
Correct.
What was 170?
178 was the video.
Oh, that was the most recent one. Okay. What's the request then as it relates to when the jury comes back in?
Your Honor, I just, there's two different ways to do this. I can put on the record, I have the exhibit numbers, and I can just put on the record just to verify that these exhibits have all been offered and admitted into evidence, and the court's agreeing, because we've just agreed that those are, your records are the same as my records, or we can clarify just if there was some confusion about exhibits 175 and 178 that were shown to the jury this morning. Those 175 and 178 were offered, and the court has admitted those into evidence. So however you want to.
All right. Sir, do you have any position on how I address this in front of the jury?
Yeah, I'm objected to him being admitted at all.
Well, those objections were already addressed. I'm talking about how I addressed to make sure the jury knows they were received by the court.
However you gonna do it is how you gonna do it. I don't think what I gotta say much matters.
Well, what you say matters, sir, but the fact that I've already ruled on the admissibility is not something I'm going to revisit.
What I gotta say.
Hold on, that door is... All right, it's... Sometimes that door upstairs malfunctions, and... All right, I didn't hear the last part of what you said.
What I have to say about anything definitely doesn't matter.
I take huge objection with that, sir.
It's true.
And that may be your perception, but that is absolutely not true. This court takes your positions on evidence, legal arguments, admissibility, things of that nature. I take all of that quite seriously.
But somehow it's always overruled or discarded.
Sir, can I keep going because you've interrupted me once again? My perspective on all of this, sir, is when you disagree with a ruling, you interrupt, you try to debate the topic again and again, you make disparaging remarks either directly or under your breath that are audible. Sometimes you roll your eyes. I mean, just previous to the break, you and I were talking over each other. I couldn't really get a word in edgewise. You wanted to debate topics that I've already made decisions on. I wanted to get clarification on whether you wanted to pursue any questioning, for example, with Detective Casey. I gave you multiple opportunities to answer questions directly. You chose not to do that. You directly challenged me about my authority in this courtroom. You refused to sit down repeatedly. Did I raise my voice? I absolutely did. Was I frustrated? I absolutely was. I'm sitting down. My voice is calm. I think the break was good. I hope for all it was good for me. We had a very long morning. It was about 11:30 when we broke. It's now 11:54. I didn't remove you to the other courtroom despite my repeated warnings because frankly I knew I was going to take a break and I just wanted to get through some issues outside the presence of the jury, which is the proper procedure for how to address objections if the record can't be done in a way that when a more full record needs to be made is how I'll put it. And I indicated during the cross-examination of Detective Casey, I would take your objections under advisement. I would address them outside the presence of the jury. You chose not to answer my questions, and so I moved on. Now, with respect to, I want to also address exhibits and the normal course of exhibits coming in a trial. Because I think there's some misunderstanding and certainly confusion on your part, sir, about the exhibit list that I asked the state to file near the beginning. And that was, frankly, to assist the court and my clerk in keeping track. Most trials, the normal course of action is as long as an exhibit has been provided to a party previously, or in some circumstances, if not, it's rebuttal. We're not quite there yet. That as long as it's been turned over in discovery, oftentimes parties will simply have exhibits marked as they're presented in the course of a trial. There's not a legal requirement unless a judge orders it that would prohibit a party from marking a document that's been already exchanged and having it offered as an exhibit. There was nothing improper about what the state did with Exhibit 178. And I want to make that record very, very clear. As Attorney Opper stated, trials are fluid. Things happen. Parties can open the door to what might be inadmissible evidence for a variety of reasons. For example, this court made a number of pretrial rulings related to other acts evidence. Even during your cross-examination today, you came awfully close. I had the witness turn to me and pause and say, I don't think I can answer that, in a clear recognition that that witness, Detective Casey, understood his obligation to honor the pretrial rulings. And we moved on from there. I bet that's happened a half a dozen times in this trial. And that's frankly to protect your rights, sir. The door could have been opened a long time ago to the other acts evidence with Erica Patterson. And I frankly kept it out, despite your questions. So, with that, I want to bring the jury back out. I will ask the state. I'll simply just ask the state, are there any anything additional the state's offering by way of testimony or exhibits? You can then address the exhibit issue. Then I'll ask the state if the state has any additional witnesses, and the state can officially rest. Given the time of day that it is, it's 11:58. I'm not going to have Mr. Brooks start with his opening statement. We'll do that when we come back after the lunch hour. I think, frankly, the time over the lunch hour will be good for everyone to regroup, hopefully get a little bit to eat, and come back fresh. And then we'll have his opening statement and the start of testimony. Before I bring the jury out, there's one other thing I want to do, though. I just need a moment to pull something up from on my computer.
So is that addressing subject matter jurisdiction that you're pulling up?
No.
When would that be proven for the record?
Sir, please don't interrupt me. I need to focus on what I'm doing.
not interrupting you. I'm just asking a question.
All right. I'm not going to be addressing that. So
would it
don't
be
interrupt me right now. I'm trying to do something on my computer.
Would it be
and I need to
proven on the
focus.
record?
I feel it's important at this time to at least give you the advisement pursuant to Special Material 28. It is regarding your decision on whether to testify. I'm not asking you to make that decision, but since we're on the verge of you starting your case and it may impact your opening statement, I wanted to go through the following. Sir, are you aware that you have a constitutional right to testify?
I've been informed.
Are you advised and informed that you also have a constitutional right not to testify?
I'm not advised, I'm informed.
Are you advised and informed that the decision whether to testify is for you to make?
I don't understand the question.
Are you advised and informed that the decision on whether you testify in this trial is for you and you alone to make?
I'm informed. Not advised.
Are you advised and informed, sir, that if you choose not to testify, the jury will be advised that they cannot use that against you? In other words, you have that right not to testify.
At this point, she could say red or green, and he would say yellow. He just wants to be difficult. I know he does a lot of things to delay, but I also believe if Darrell is upset or hurt, he wants to make someone else more upset or hurt. It's the childish way he operates.
I'm informed.
When you make a determination about whether to testify in this trial, I will further be asking you about whether anyone has made any threats or promises to you to influence your decision. I may also briefly go over your educational background. Did you hear me say that?
No, I'll say it again.
At the appropriate time, when we go through this discussion more fully, I will also ask you whether anyone has made any promises to you to influence your decision on whether to testify. Did you hear me say that?
I'm informed.
And then I will also ask you if anyone's made any threats or coerced you in any way in your decision to testify or not.
What's the significance of that?
So that I can make appropriate findings about the voluntariness, intelligence, and your, whether it's knowing, voluntary, and intelligent, your decision to testify.
So whether I give consent.
That's not the legal determination that I make. It is simply something that is your choice. I will honor your right not to testify. Obviously, that's a constitutional right. I will honor your right to testify. That's also a constitutional right. And the jury will be advised one way or the other. There's a jury instruction on that. Did you hear me advise you of all of this?
I'm informed.
All right. Okay, let's bring the jury out then. We can kind of tidy up the record, and then we'll break for lunch.
Judge, may I remove that exhibit, please? All right.
I think they're right there, so let me just take it.
All right, let's have
Jury already coming out.
I'll just stick it.
Okay, so go ahead and sit it back down. Thank you. Subject matter jurisdiction still hasn't been proven for the record, Your Honor. Should be proven at some point.
Remind me not to do that. Okay. That hurt. Oh, that hurt. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right, then I'll turn to the state. Any additional evidence at this time?
The state has no additional evidence, Your Honor. May we make a record as to the exhibits?
Go ahead, please.
Your Honor, we believe that the court has admitted all exhibits that have been offered, with the exception of one prior ruling on Exhibit 6. I don't know if you want me to list them all by number, or there are, it's 1 through 78, 1 through 178, but there are some numbers missing because we chose not to offer those exhibits.
Anything specific as it relates to the most recent testimony?
The most recent testimony, with Detective Casey, we moved 177 and 178 and 175, 150, 151, 88, and 89. I believe those were admitted by the court.
That's my recollection as well, but for the jury, exhibits 150, let me start over. Exhibits 88, 89, 150, 151, 177, and 178. If I didn't receive them during the testimony, I'm receiving them now.
And 175, which was the still photo.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to scribble on my pad. And 175.
And 13 and 14. Those are the outliers. I apologize.
I believe those were received as well, but if I didn't
Objection, I
state
think
it,
they was already received.
I appreciate that. I just want to be thorough for the record. 13 and 14 were received as well. Does they have any additional witnesses to call at this time?
No, Your Honor. At this time, the state rests.
All right, thank you. All right, then at this time we are going to break for the lunch hour. I am going to have everyone come back at 1:30. It's a little bit longer, at least that's what I want to do for the lunch hour today. So I'll rise for the jury. Thank you. Be seated. Mr. Brooks, anything from you at this time, given the state is now rested?
What you mean?
I'm asking you the question. Do you have any requests at this time now that the state has rested?
What requests pertaining to what exactly?
I'll ask the question one more time. Do you have any requests to make at this time now that the state has rested?
I don't understand what you mean by that. That's why I'm trying to get clarification.
I'm not going to give you legal advice. I'm simply asking the question. Do you have any requests to make at this time now that the state has rested?
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. I don't understand what would that be pertaining to.
I can't give you legal advice, sir. I'm just asking the question to make a record. I'll ask you one more time. Do you have any requests to make now that the state is rested?
I don't understand.
Just say no, asshole.
All right, the other thing I want to do when the jury comes back out is you will recall I read instruction 101 at the very end of the preliminary jury instructions that just has to do with opening statements. I will read that with the caveat. It will just say that the defendant will now make his opening statement. The purpose of an opening statement is to give the parties an opportunity to tell you what they expect the evidence will show you so that you will better understand the evidence as it is introduced during the trial. I must caution you, however, that the opening statement is not evidence. So I'll read that. I think it's appropriate given that Mr. Brooks deferred his opening statement until the start of his case. With that, we will take our lunch break. It's 12:09. If you could be back here at 1:25 and be ready to go at 1:30 with your opening statement.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Do I get to present exhibits and stuff like that too and admit them into evidence?
At what point are we talking about? Do you want to use exhibits that have been received during your opening? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm saying if I got my own stuff that I want to offer into evidence, which is a question I asked previously.
Do you believe the state has all of those documents that they might be able to assist with? Or are they new documents?
I don't know what you mean by new documents.
Are they documents from the discovery that you have?
They documents of my filings and stuff like that. I'm sure they have copies of everything that I filed.
I guess without knowing specifically what you're referring to, sir, I did give you the admonition previously that you are prohibited from discussing subject matter jurisdiction during your opening statement. It's not relevant.
I'm not referring to the opening statement. I'm referring to things that I want to offer for evidence.
Give me an example, please.
I just did. I said I have filings that I want to offer into evidence.
That's too general, sir. I need a specific example so I can answer the question. What are you referring to?
My filings. Everything
Which
that I filed.
filings, sir?
Every one of them.
Well, they have to be relevant, number one, to the proceedings. Okay, number two, I don't know specifically what you're referring to. You can't offer testimony of yours through an exhibit. That would be hearsay. So you'll have to testify if it's your statement that you're referring to.
I'm not referring to I didn't say anything about testimony. I said
I'm
filings.
being general based on what I've seen thus far. So, are you talking about during your opening statement or during the course of the questioning of the witnesses that you're calling?
Your Honor, with all respect, I just clearly said filings that I filed.
Mr. Brooks, if I understood, I'd answer. I don't understand what you're asking me. You need to be specific.
I filed a number of documents. I think that's on the record
Without
that I
knowing
filed.
what you're referring to, then my answer is no. But again, I guess I'll have to wait and see as to when you seek to admit them, whether there's any objection or not, and whether they comply with all of the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure. That's the best I can tell you at this point.
I don't understand what you mean by that. They will only be relevant to obviously the matter. They would
Sir,
be relevant to anything else.
I can't answer that anymore. We're going to take our lunch break. It's 12:12. We'll see everyone back here at 1:25. We are in recess.
So I'm not allowed to offer anything in the evidence?
For the record, I never said that. We are in recess.
So I'm trying to understand.
Session, State versus Brooks, appearances are as they have been. And Mr. Brooks, I presume you're ready for your opening statement?
Just 1 second. And for the record, I don't consent to that name, Your Honor.
Noted, for the record. I intend to have the jury brought out. I presume you're ready to go?
Having a slight issue finding certain.
Can you sit up, because I'm not hearing you very well, so that the microphone picks you up, please?
I'm having a slight issue locating some of the files that I need. That's what I was trying to say.
All right, we'll take a moment. You can tell me when you locate them.
Okay.
He isn't looking for a specific file, and this is definitely a delay tactic. Ball's in his court, and he has no idea what to do with it.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
The files that I'm attempting to locate are pertains directly to the witnesses that I will be calling. I'm not sure what witnesses are here today.
Well, let's do this. I'd like you to at least do your opening statement, bring the jury in, do that. We'll give you an opportunity to look again. I can have the state write down who's here. I believe it's based on what you told them. And then if there's still something you need at that point, but I'd like to at least bring the jury out and start with your opening statement, okay?
Well, just so I'm clear, I didn't give a specific order in who I will be calling by specific order. I gave a generalization of
Sure, I'll
who
have
would
the
be-
state. Sorry.
who would be called on what day.
Why don't I have the state write down who's here presently, and then you can make that determination, but at least let's go with the opening statement, okay?
That's what I was trying to get at. It would help to know who's actually here today.
Before you make your opening statement?
Well, so I know if they're not here, then essentially I can't call them.
Let's address that after. I'll have the state write down who they know to be here now or who's coming this afternoon, because there might have been people here this morning. I believe they're still here, but I'll let them write that down for you so you can better prepare. But at this point, I would like to bring the jury out for your opening statement. I presume you're going to give one.
I am.
Okay. Then I'll have the jury brought out, okay?
Subject matter jurisdiction?
My prior written decision stands. I will not be addressing that further. Your objection is noted, and I will be continuing with the trial.
Is it verified proof for the record?
Sir, I don't believe I need to do that, or that the state needs to do that as well. I believe your statement about that is a misstatement of the law, and I do not intend to pursue that further.
Can you show me lawful law that says that?
I gave you a written decision. I have done that.
Can you show me lawful law that verifies that?
Sir,
For the record.
I gave you a written decision.
I accepted for value in return for
and
value.
that's how I'm going to answer that. So
it was
let's
not verified proof. We still aren't.
Sir, there is no requirement in the law that the state or the court establish that. So
Actually,
your
there
objection
is.
is noted.
All right.
Actually, there is, Your Honor. Subject matter jurisdiction has
Sir,
to
please.
be proven for the record. Has
It
to
does
be
not.
proven. Has to be proven. You know that just as well as
Mr. Brooks,
you know that.
please do not make statements that mischaracterize the law
You know it has to be proven
or that
for the
impugn the
record.
integrity of this
You
court
know it has to be
and
proven
the
on the
proceedings
record.
here.
You know
The
it
jury
has
is
to be proven.
advised to disregard the statements that Mr. Brooks is making regarding subject matter jurisdiction. They are not evidence, and you are to disregard them.
They're not presented as evidence. Just has yet to be proven for the record.
The jury will disregard the incorrect statements of the law that Mr. Brooks is stating.
Where's lawful law that is incorrect?
Mr. Brooks, please. I am going to read one instruction. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. The defendant will now make an opening statement. The purpose of an opening statement is to give the defendant an opportunity to tell you what he expects the evidence will show so that you will better understand the evidence as it is introduced during the trial. I must caution you, however, that the opening statements are not evidence. With that, go ahead, sir.
Obviously, I don't have any rehearsed or well-prepared speech, so I'm just going to speak from the heart. I would just like to first say that I want to bring to remembrance something I think everyone in this room has been taught pretty much as far back as we can remember, is that there's always two sides to every story. And for so long now, roughly a year, there's only truly been one side told of this story. And I've sat back and watched from countless narratives that's been put out there, the way this incident has been portrayed at times, and finally everyone getting a chance to get the full story. You won't hear me try to argue facts. The fact is, this incident was tragic. Very tragic. That's not lost on me. Facts are that there's still a lot of people healing. A lot of families healing. On both sides. And when I'm confident that the evidence will show, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. When I'm confident that the evidence will show is that this incident was not planned. This incident was not intentional. And this incident was never even thought about. It's easy to I'm sorry. Just need a second.
He's just using this time to show more fake remorse.
I think it's easy to look at the magnitude of something like this and form opinions. I think it's easy to disregard a lot of factors. And I think in reference to what I stated earlier, it's easy to forget the other side of the coin.
See, he knew he wasn't going to testify to give the state the chance to question him, so he used this time to testify. But as usual, there are words coming out of his mouth, and he is saying absolutely nothing.
There's been a lot of suffering involved in this incident. A lot. Obviously, with the families, with the community, and even the alleged defendant's family as well. There's been a lot of suffering. A lot of misunderstanding. And
Long story short, it wasn't intentional, so he should get a pass.
I just want you to keep in mind everything that will be presented in its totality. To keep in mind. The power that you have.
Like the power you had behind that wheel? Behind that brake pedal?
I believe that should escape your knowledge. This has been a long process for everybody. And what I believe is when it's time for you to make your decision, all of you, I believe that, and I pray that it's the right decision. That all the factors are weighed. There's been a lot of words thrown out there about the alleged. A lot of speculation, a lot of ridicule. Words like demon.
Idiot. Fool.
Words like monster.
Narcissist.
I know a lot of the time I've been before you see me with this mask on. I've had my reasons for that. But I feel now is the time to, it's important that you see me for who I am. No mask for who I am. I think this is the moment for that.
I want to cut shot to the jury box, and they are all reading magazines. Their phones, some are painting their nails, chewing gum.
I pray that your eyes and ears remain as open as possible. And understand that you alone decide this matter. The power is in your hands. All of you. To determine for yourselves what truth is. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And do we have their writing materials available? All right. Thank you. Mr. Brooks, you ready to call your first, would be your second witness, actually. Do you need a minute? Take a short break. I'll rise for the jury, please. We'll be with you shortly.
No one else got emotional. You touch no one with that pity speech. In fact, the whole woe is me thing is getting pretty old, Brooks.
The materials that you were looking for, let us know if there's something you need in that regard. And Attorney Apper, if you could perhaps just confer with him over which witnesses are here. I'll step off the bench while you do that, and if someone can just let me know, I'll come back out in like between 5 and 10 minutes unless I'm told to come back out sooner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge Doro had zero remorse for him after that opening. I think it was around this time she knew how she would rule his sentencing.
All right, thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Brooks, have you found what you were looking for?
I'm just going to go with, I'm just going to work off the list of the people who's here,
Okay.
if that's fine.
All right. You know who you're going to call first? We'll have that person ready.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to let us know so that the state can assist with that? Otherwise, you can just call when we are in front of the jury. So have the jury brought out, please.
Well, some of them are downstairs and some of them are out here. So it's fine. It just will take a few minutes if they're over in the main courthouse.
Okay. Why don't you tell the state, the first witness, to make sure they're right outside the courtroom, sir?
Most likely Bertram. Most likely. Most likely.
Do you want to give us 2 names and we'll have 2 people out there? I just want to make it go smoothly, sir. That's all.
Since I'm working off this list, I wasn't expecting that to be first.
Who do you want to call first? And we'll see if they're here.
Well, sorry.
That's okay.
Apparently, this list is who's here, I'm guessing.
That's my understanding as well.
Just 3 names. Doesn't have to be that difficult.
Am I calling? Not yet. Okay.
Can't find out.
Is there someone you expected to be on the list that is not?
Kinda.
Do you want to make a record of that? Do you want me to address it in any way?
No, not right now.
All right, well then I'm going to instruct the jury to come out and then you can call your first witness.
All rise.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right, you may call your first witness. Actually, your second witness.
The defense would like to call the plaintiff, state of Wisconsin, to the stand.
Your Honor, I object.
The objection is noted. It is sustained. Call your next witness, please.
Reason for the sustain?
Not relevant. And you haven't named a person to go along with that.
The subpoena was accepted, Your Honor.
I'll take the issue up outside the presence of the jury if necessary. Call your next witness, please.
Well, I would like to make an oral tennis motion to dismiss for failure to appear by the plaintiff and for failure to state a claim from which relief can be granted.
I will take that up outside the presence of the jury. Next witness, please.
So is the state not present?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to address that any further while the jury's present. I'll take that up outside their presence. Call your next witness, please.
The defense calls Nicholas Kirby.
All right. Nicholas Kirby. Is that a witness who's in the hallway? Do we know?
I don't believe in the hallway, but we will have him brought over, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. It'll be just a moment or two while we wait for that witness to come into the courtroom.
That was the one thing he could control, who was called next. And he purposely called them out of the order he stated earlier. This next testimony gets so immature on both sides, it irritates me.
Sir, would you please make your way to the witness stand? It is up one riser to my right. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, who's across from you, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record, and then to spell each. Go ahead.
First name, Nicholas. Last name, Kirby. Nicholas
Great. Thank you. Go ahead, sir. Your witness.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kirby. How are you today?
I'm here.
What do you do for a living?
Mostly temp work.
Do you recall the events of November 21st of 2021?
All too well.
And what were you doing that day?
What time of the day?
Around 3 o'clock-ish.
3 o'clock-ish. Around 3 o'clock-ish, I was walking with Corey around Waukesha. Earlier, well, yeah.
And made reference to walking with Corey. Who is Corey?
Corey is a friend of Miss Patterson's.
And would it be fair to say that it's also a friend of yours?
Mutual friend, yes.
In reference to Corey?
Yes.
And what were you doing?
Walking around Waukesha, she was waiting for Miss Patterson to get done meeting with Mr. Brooks. You?
At 3 o'clock?
Around 3 o'clock-ish. Around that time, I had advised her not to go meet with Mr. Brooks.
You made reference to Mr. Brooks. Who's that?
That would be you.
And why would you say it would be you? That's you.
Because that's your name.
And you were privy to that information at the time?
I was privy to the information about you about a week prior to this incident.
About a week prior. And during your walking around, what were you doing with Corey?
Walking, like literally walking. We went from one store to walking around downtown after Erica told us she was going to be going to meet with Mr. Brooks. That would be you. I had advised her not to do it because it was a bad idea, and I was in fear for her safety.
You made reference to going from one store to another. What stores are you referencing?
Dollar General and Speedway.
Did you go anywhere else?
No.
Did you ever go to a park?
No.
It's just tit for tat, nothing having to do with evidence of his charges.
You made reference to knowing about a Brooks a week prior to these events, you said?
I didn't know everything about him. Miss Patterson had showed me his rap sheet, if you will, and a picture of him, and that was about it. I had heard prior...
I'm going to stop the witness unless you want him to go there, not to discuss what may or may not be conduct of Mr. Brooks prior to November 21 of 2021.
Okay.
With that understanding, go ahead and ask the next question.
You made reference to a picture you were shown?
Just a photograph with a rap sheet behind it.
And at some point, did you and your mutual friend Corey meet up with Miss Patterson?
Yes.
Do you recall where that was?
Corey and I were in the Dollar General area of Waukesha, which is between East and Broadway Street. We were walking away from Dollar General, towards where Erica had said that she was being assaulted and attacked.
And do you recall where that area was?
Yes.
Where was that area?
On White Rock Avenue, right across from White Rock Elementary, in front of the red apartments across from that area.
Red apartments.
Yes.
Do you know what those apartments are called?
I do not know the name. I'm guessing they're called White Rock Apartments.
And do you know if there's a park in that immediate vicinity?
There is a park there named Frame Park, yes.
Did you ever go to Frame Park?
No. We were in that area near the park where the elementary school is and the apartments are.
About what time did you and your mutual friend Corey meet up with Miss Patterson?
Miss Patterson called me and said that she was...
About what time was the question? About what time?
And I'm getting to that.
I'll direct the witness answer his question specifically. What time?
Honestly, around what time the parade started. I would have to say like dusk. I honestly don't wear a watch, so sorry, I don't remember the time. But if I had to put it at a time, I'd probably say about 4:35ish.
Let's back up a little bit. Around what time did you and your mutual friend Corey first hook up that day?
I had worked that whole day, so we didn't meet up until I was done working, which was probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
And at some point, you received a phone call from Miss Patterson?
Yes.
You yourself?
Yes.
And then at that point, what did you do?
When she told me that she was in trouble and she needed help, I went to her aid, which means I took off from where I was near Dollar General and ran to where she told me to go.
And when you got there, what did you see?
When I got there, halfway towards White Rock Elementary, I stopped a police officer at a barricade and I let him know that a woman was being assaulted in a vehicle.
And do you recall giving a description of who may have been assaulting your friend?
No.
Why not?
Because at that point in time, the description didn't matter. I had the identity of the vehicle. So I told them you need to be looking for a red SUV with a woman screaming out of it.
And how did you come into the knowledge of the description of the vehicle?
Because I saw the vehicle.
At what point did you see the vehicle?
When Corey and I were walking up White Rock Avenue on the apartment building side of White Rock, which would have been my right if you were walking towards the train tracks that cross White Rock. On my left was White Rock Elementary. I walked past the red vehicle, didn't realize that she was in that vehicle. Then Corey and I crossed the street to White Rock Elementary and started walking down the sidewalk, and I heard her scream, Miss Patterson scream. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she screamed and I knew it was her, so I walked back across the street and escorted her across the street over to White Rock Elementary.
I don't think that's what
I'm just giving you full description.
Let's back up a little bit because that doesn't make sense. You stated that you had a description of the vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
The question was, how did you learn of the description of the vehicle at that point?
Miss Patterson told me over the phone that she was in a red SUV. There aren't many red SUVs with young women screaming for help in Waukesha. So I'm assuming, because you made reference to stopping law enforcement before arriving to the scene, would that be fair to say? Yes.
So I'm assuming somewhere in the time of you stopping the law enforcement officer to report what you were being told, and then actually walking past the vehicle as you said you did, and then hearing this and all this. Did you give a full report to law enforcement?
At the time when someone was in help and needed help immediately, absolutely not. I said there's a woman being attacked in a red SUV, you need to call for backup. Now.
And then you just ran.
And then I ran towards the person that needed help.
Did you at any time give a more detailed report that evening?
No, not that evening.
Did you speak with any more law enforcement that evening?
Yes.
Do you recall whom that was?
I do not recall the officer's name that showed up in the SUV coming down White Rock, in the police squad SUV. I don't even know the name of the officers that turned into Frame Park and went to the boat launch instead of where Miss Patterson, myself, and Corey were. But yes, I did speak to an officer.
How did you come into the knowledge of where officers turned and went?
Because me, Erica, and Corey were arguing with Mr. Brooks on the side of the road of White Rock, right in front of White Rock Elementary. And the officer that I had stopped at the barricade when we were coming to Miss Patterson's aid had radioed for backup, and obviously given them description of the vehicle that I had described to them, the red SUV. That backup came, but they went to Frame Park. They did not go to where we were on White Rock.
Any idea why they went to Frame Park if you specifically told them a description of a vehicle and where it was located?
I did not tell them where the vehicle was located because at first incident, Mr. Brooks had taken off in his SUV.
In the police report, and is it fair to say that the officer that took your report was writing down what you told them?
Do you mean the officer that I alerted about the trouble in the SUV?
Well, let me back up. On the next day, the 22nd of November of 2021, did you speak with a detective at that time?
Yes, I did.
And during that interview, were they writing down what you were saying?
I believe so, yes, but I believe it may also have been recorded on tape. I'm not sure.
And do you yourself recall stating to the detective that your friend Miss Patterson was being assaulted somewhere near the area of White Rock School?
Objection, lady.
Overruled. He may answer. I'll just caution Mr. Brooks about leading questions since it's his witness, but this particular question you can answer.
Yes, I mentioned that I had received a phone call from Miss Patterson and that she was being assaulted while in a vehicle.
At any time, did you identify White Rock School?
I identified the street, which is named White Rock, the apartment buildings, and the school as well as Frame Park.
So you did identify Frame Park.
I identified the entire geographical area.
Once again, Brooks has managed to get the witness to testify just how awful of a person he is.
And at some point, you said you heard your friend Miss Patterson screaming.
Yes.
And do you recall what she was screaming?
Objection, hearsay.
I said, do he recall?
Ask from the question. He's asking, did he hear? So you may answer. It's a yes or no.
I do not. Yes, she screamed. Do I remember what? She was trying to say, no, I'm guessing it would be help. I'm in trouble. I would assume that that's what a person would scream when they're in trouble, is for help.
Do we still have the exhibit with the footage from the White Rock School available?
The security footage?
The security footage, I'm sorry.
We do. Would the state be willing to pull that up?
I guess I need the defendant to identify which exhibit he would like us to publish.
There's 3 and 4. Door 1 and door 2 is what I have.
I'm sorry, you said do.
Exhibits 3 and 4 have been received. One is of the White Rock door 1, the other is White Rock door 2. I believe those are the videos you're referring to.
Let's try door 2.
Okay, that's exhibit 4. Let's just put it up for the witness initially, make sure it's the one Mr. Brooks wants. And I appreciate the state with their assistance. Can you see that on your monitor, Mr. Brooks? Is this the one you're looking at?
Yeah, I can see it.
I believe there's 2 clips from this, but go ahead.
Can you? This one is roughly 7 minutes, so I would need a little bit of it played, if possible.
It's been received, so go ahead. It'll be published, so everyone can see.
Well, before it's published, can you show it to the witness?
That's fine. We'll just play for the witness then.
I'm sorry, I should have said that before.
It's playing, so we'll let it go. Let us know if there's a point where you want it stopped.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is the video you're looking for, though.
It might be. Think it might be door 1.
No.
It's exhibit 3.
No, maybe not. Let's watch. I could be wrong.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Take a look. Of course, none of our statements right now are any kind of evidence. We're just
Okay.
trying to get to the right spot.
Can you
Pause right now at 105.
105. Can you back it up a few seconds? Not 2 or 3, but maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe.
It's at 59 seconds. The witness. It is on the witness stand, by the way, just so you're aware.
Okay.
He's watching it.
Can you play from here? I don't think it's playing.
It's playing.
Oh, okay. Pause right there. From what you can see in this video, do you see anyone get in or out of the vehicle that you see on your screen?
Miss Patterson has just exited the vehicle.
Just for the record, the video was played. It's Exhibit 4 from 56 seconds to 1:21. Go ahead.
I didn't hear the answer.
Miss Patterson was the one that exited the red SUV.
You saw someone exit.
Yes.
Can you wind it back?
To what? Again.
Do you want it back to 56 seconds?
No, to 105, where it was paused the first time.
Okay. Thank you for attempting to do that, Ms. Gussie. It is paused at 1:05. Do you want to play from?
Yes, I'm sorry. Pause.
Paused again at 1:21.
Oh, okay.
Did you see anyone from, in the video that you're being shown now, from about the 1 minute and 5 second mark to where it's paused right now at 1 minute and 21 seconds? Did you observe anyone get in or out of the vehicle?
I'm going to take back what I said earlier. Apparently, according to this video, she did not exit your vehicle. She was behind the White Rock sign. That's why I did not see her.
Did you see anyone get into the vehicle?
Later on, within the incident, yes.
On the video that you are able to view right now, from the 1 minute and 5 second mark to the 1 minute and 21 second mark, did you observe anyone get into the vehicle?
No.
Can you publish for the jury?
You want it replayed again?
Yes.
Go ahead. We'll start at the close to the minute mark as possible.
Again, is that where the defendant would like it started?
Around the 105, around that area.
105, Exhibit 4.
I know we have to wait for the jury, right?
Right,
Okay.
and then you want it to the minute 21 mark again?
Yes, if I may.
Go ahead.
And at that time, were you already en route to where you believe your friend was being assaulted at?
Objection calls for speculation. This defendant has not even put this witness at this location at this time. He's just having him testify about what he's seeing in video.
I understand the objection. It's sustained. Please establish some foundation for this witness being present at that location for more information about the incident.
Were you present at this time?
We were on White Rock Avenue, but we were not in the general location of the school as of yet, as of that point in time.
So to your recollection, you didn't see anything that you're seeing right now or on this video. You did not see the day of the incident?
No, I definitely saw Miss Patterson in a red SUV that day.
Did you see...
At this specific time, no. Because I was down the road on White Rock talking to an officer who was manning the intersection of Hartwell and White Rock. And reporting at that time.
Can we play a little bit more, if I may?
Objection as to relevance. If he wants to direct the video to a certain time that if he would like to ask this witness about that particular time if the witness saw that, that's fine. But he can't go through each video and say, and ask general questions.
There's only been one video that's been shown.
I'm going to give Mr. Brooks some leeway on this. The video is to be played from this moment, and then Mr. Brooks, tell us when you want it to stop.
Okay. What I'm attempting to do for the record, Your Honor, is...
Just play the video and you can ask your question.
All right.
Go ahead.
Can you pause it right there?
Video's paused at 1:38.
By what you are viewing in this video right now, had you and your mutual friend Corey linked up with Miss Patterson at that point?
At this point in time in the video, given from what I've just seen, that was when Erica was on the phone trying to get a hold of me. We were already on White Rock at that point in time. We were not near the school at that point in time, though.
So that was when you would, to your recollection, that's when you would say the phone call to you was made?
One of the phone calls, yes. She made multiple phone calls to me. I think probably about 6. I had been having issues with my phone that day, so it had been turned on and off multiple times. The final time that it was turned on was when I picked up her phone call, and she said, "I need help. I'm in trouble. Come help me. I'm being assaulted." That's when I left.
You just made reference to that point in the vehicle being... I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so drained. That point in the video was when you made reference to that point in the video being when you received the phone call.
Yes. A phone call out of multiple from her.
That's fair. A phone call. Would it be fair to say, though, would it be fair to say that, and this is in reference to you saying that you were having issues with your phone that day, would it be fair to say that you're not sure how many phone calls you had received that day or who they were from?
I only received 51 phone calls on my phone that day. That I actually do know. 6 of which belonged to her.
And all around the same time?
All around the time. She obviously didn't want to get off the phone because no one calls me 6 times in a row unless they need some help.
Can we continue to play from 138?
Go ahead.
Can you pause right there very quick?
Paused at 1 minute 47 seconds.
Do you see in this video your friend Miss Patterson walking back in the direction that she had just come from?
I see her on the phone talking to someone, which I assume would be me, telling me where
Mr. Kirby, I need you to answer the specific question that's being asked at the moment, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, I see her on White Rock on the phone walking back in the direction she was originally.
Again, Your Honor, I'm going to object to this line of questioning unless the defendant can put this witness there. I don't know what the relevance of this testimony is.
I didn't even get
The exhibit has been received. It's been published previously.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give Mr. Brooks some leeway here. Overruled.
At
I would like you to get to where you need to go, though.
That was the next question. At this point in the video, had you yet come into a range where you and your mutual friend Corey, had you yet come into a range where you can see Miss Patterson at that point?
Corey was the one that spotted her first.
Could you yourself see her at that point?
I heard her scream. That's what caught my attention.
And you made reference to that scream being heard from inside the vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, because that's where she was when she called me. And I was still on the phone with her while going down White Rock Avenue. Even while I was talking to the officer, I said, I'm on the phone with her right now. I'm trying to figure out where she is. Can you please call for backup? So we continued down White Rock to look for Miss Patterson.
Would it be fair to say that in the phone call you received, she told you where she was at, and that's the area that you were generally responding to with your mutual friend Corey?
Miss Patterson doesn't know Waukesha. I knew the area she was talking about because I live in that area.
Would it be fair to say that you just testified to when you had the interaction with law enforcement that you stated you're on the phone with her right now trying to figure out where she was? So would it be fair to say at that point you didn't know where she was?
I knew that she was on White Rock. I didn't know exactly where or how far down on White Rock she was at that point in time. At that specific time, I did not know. It wasn't until I seen a red SUV parked in front of the apartment buildings on White Rock that I figured that might be the one that she was in. It was Corey who spotted her across from the road.
We're paused at the 1 minute and 47 second mark of this video. It's a little hard to see houses and things of the like. Can you point out in what area the red apartment you're referring to might be?
It's a touch screen.
It's a touch screen, so you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can make an arrow point in the direction if that's helpful.
Not good with technology, guys. Sorry. I'm a dirt digger. Okay. This is the entrance to White Rock Elementary. Across the street and up maybe 20-30 feet, there's an intersection leading from an apartment building to the White Rock campus. That would be up here in this general corner right here. This whole area.
Would it be fair to say that from where we're paused at in the video, we can't tell if there's any vehicle parked in that general area?
You literally just played the video where the vehicle
Just
turned
answer the
around.
question, sir.
No, you cannot see it from this angle.
Will we please clear the
Yes.
arrow? Thank you. Would it be fair to say that where the video is paused now, that Miss Patterson is not, or who you identified as Miss Patterson is not inside of a vehicle?
She is not inside of a vehicle in this video, no.
Can we play it from 1 minute and 47 seconds?
Go ahead.
Pause there. At this point, had you come into a range where you can see Miss Patterson at that point?
No.
The record video is paused at 2:13.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
2:13.
Keep going.
And you made reference to your friend Corey spotting her first.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Corey had said that she thought she had seen her across the street, and we looked, and we crossed the street once, and then we crossed the street back over. Then we crossed again for the final time. That wasn't until later when the incident with Mr. Brooks took place.
And at this point, walking with your friend Corey, had she alerted you to spotting Miss Patterson at that point?
She said she's over here. She must be out of his car now or something. She said something along the lines of that. So we went across the street, and there was Miss Patterson hobbling down the street with a boot on her leg.
You made reference to your friend Corey saying she must be out of his car now. Do you know, as you were walking with your friend Corey, do you know if she observed Miss Patterson being in a vehicle at that point?
She was with me when the phone call came. So I assume that when someone tells me that they're in a vehicle, then they are in a vehicle. That does not mean that they would be in a vehicle by the time I got there. I was on foot. And I wasn't walking, I was running.
Can you play it from 2:13? Hard to see down in that corner.
Hold on, let it play.
Okay. Pause right there. Is that 409?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say we see some individuals walking right here? Are you able to see that in the video?
Yes, I can see it.
At that time, had you come close enough to the scene where you can observe any individuals in that area?
I don't remember the people that were in that area. I was only focused on the one, and that was the one in danger.
Could you
So no.
Could you at that point observe Miss Patterson?
From my point on the street, from where I was,
At that time, yeah. Where's paused at now?
during a parade, no.
Can we clear the circle? Thank you. We observed at some point Miss Patterson crossing over to the opposite side of the road.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes. I was on the phone with her at that point.
Could you observe from coming down White Rock? Can you observe that from where you were at that time?
I was at the intersection of White Rock and Hartwell when she said that she was by some red apartment buildings.
Could you see her from that position?
No, not from that far down.
Can we play it from 409?
Go ahead.
Pause right there.
Pausing at 4:18.
418, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You see the two individuals here?
Yep.
Do you know who those individuals are?
That's me and Miss Corey.
So at 409 to 418, you were able to come into view of Miss Patterson at that point?
No. I wasn't. I was on my phone trying to call her back to find out where she was.
Can we clear this circle? Thank you. So at this point right here where the video is paused, 418, you weren't able to observe Miss Patterson on White Rock Avenue at that point?
Ask the answer.
Huh?
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I was not looking ahead of me. As you can tell by the video, I was looking at my phone trying to call Miss Patterson back because she was not answering her phone. That scared me. So I told Corey to keep an eye out, look for her. as I tried to keep calling her. When I looked up and we got past the White Rock Elementary School sign, that was when I seen her.
Would it be fair to say that, judging from the video, the White Rock, let me back up. Are you referring to the sign right here that says White Rock Campus?
I'm referring to where the end of the school building itself meets the driveway or the road that's there. There's a turn-off road.
I apologize. Can we take that X from next to the White Rock Campus sign? So, can you point to exactly what you're referring to?
Where that intersection is, where I just drew that little X, that intersection cuts across from the other side of White Rock to the other side and leads to a road, but also there's the frame park area there, and I believe there's a boat launch there somewhere. I don't know.
And at that point, you were able to observe Miss Patterson?
I observed her walking when Corey had told me that she had seen her. And so we grabbed her and started to leave to turn around. At that point in time, an officer was coming to Frame Park because of the report that I had given.
So you observed Miss Patterson walking and not inside of a vehicle?
At that point in time, no.
No, as in?
As in she was not in a vehicle at that point in time when we finally came upon her.
So when, if at any time did you observe Miss Patterson inside of a vehicle?
When she was going back into his vehicle to get her things or whatever it was that she was trying to pull out of his car, her phone or something or whatever.
Can we play the video from 418?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we clear the X?
Continuing to
Sorry
play
about
from
that.
418. It's at 421, but go ahead.
You pause right here. Is it fair to say it stopped at 4 minutes and 38 seconds? Is it fair to say from the video that two people right there are crossing the road?
Yes.
And do you know the identity of those two people?
That's me and Miss Corey.
Would it be fair to say that at that time you observed Miss Patterson?
That was when I first noticed the red Jeep, or red SUV, whatever you want to call it, across the street. We had zigzagged up White Rock, going from one side to another looking for Erica. When we ended up on this side, the red SUV was parked in front of the apartment buildings. There was a tree here, and Miss Erica came from the passenger side of the vehicle around the back. That's when I heard her yell something. That's when I went over.
You made reference to Miss Patterson coming from around the vehicle?
Coming from the passenger side, so I had assumed that she had just gotten out of the vehicle.
Do you know that for sure?
If I didn't see her earlier when I was on White Rock, or a vehicle earlier on White Rock, how could I know?
Did you see her in the vehicle at that time?
I seen her come from around the vehicle. I am not actually sure if she was in the vehicle at that point in time.
Thank you.
I was just going by what she said over the phone.
Okay.
So my assumption is that she was in a vehicle.
All right, next question.
If it pleases Your Honor, do we have a better view of this point in particular?
I don't know.
Maybe on Exhibit 3 might be a better view of this.
If you have a
particular
specific spot to direct the state to, then I will have them do that. But
Can we view Exhibit 3?
do you have a specific spot to direct the state to on Exhibit 3?
I'm not sure. It's been I don't know how long since we viewed that exhibit. I don't know how long it is.
I'm just reviewing my notes. If there's a specific spot that you recall, I might be able to direct the state to that. But you'll have to give me a little more information.
Okay. I think that's why I was stating about the length of the video. I'm pretty sure I would know the exact spot. I don't know how long that video is. It's towards the end of it. I know that for sure.
Can you ask your next question? You need to be able to tell the state with more specificity which part of which exhibit and at what point.
Well, I know the exhibit. The exhibit would be 3, and the spot, judging on the length of the exhibit, would be towards the end of the exhibit.
And you're sure it's exhibit 3?
That would be White Rock Door 1, correct?
That's my understanding. All right, so we're done with this exhibit?
Yes.
All right, turn that off. I'm going to just ask the state to just preview to the parties. We'll see if we can find it quickly on exhibit 3.
Yes. So it's
looks like it's 4.
Yeah, about 4:14, a little over 4 minutes. So I would say around about the 3:30-ish mark, if that helps.
Well, we're going to just show it to you and the state, and if it helps you, then you can ask this witness a question about it. Otherwise, we're going to move on.
I would say take it back to about 3:15.
This is the footage, though, you're looking
Yes,
for?
this is the footage, yes.
Is that where you want to start?
Actually, let's go 3 minutes, exactly. This is definitely the video.
All right, this has previously been received. Why don't we watch it from this point forward and then ask your questions?
But before it's played,
don't hit that yet. Sorry.
wait for the jury. Or
go ahead, tell me what you want to do. That was a mistake on our part. It's just in front of you and the witness at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine right now.
Well, I don't want to have to play it twice for the jury. So if you're going to question him, let's show it. It's already been admitted.
So should it just publish now?
Why don't
or
we
just
publish it from this point, play it, and you can ask the witness questions regarding it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so it's at 3 minutes. It's play about 1 minute and 14 seconds to get from this point to the end.
So are we publishing or?
Yes, we'll publish
Okay.
now. Jury can let me know when it's on the monitors in the jury box. That may take a little longer.
Do you, right now it's paused at 3 minutes. Does looking at this video right now bring any recollection of that day back to you?
Yeah.
And using the touchscreen, can you identify, if you see yourself in this video, can you identify where you are?
I'm right here.
And can you identify who the other person is that's shown on the exhibit?
That's Miss Corey.
You can play from right
Let's
there.
clear that first and then
Oh,
play.
I'm sorry. Well, before we play, could you see from right there where you are? Can you see Miss Patterson, where her position is at that point?
No.
Can we play it from right there?
Go ahead.
Can we pause? It's fair to say that we can see you and Miss Corey running towards the area of the vehicle that just stopped. Is that
Yes.
fair to say?
Yes.
And where was Miss Patterson at this time, if you recall?
At that point in time, she had met up with Corey. Corey had walked ahead of me, and her and I were looking for her. I didn't see her right away. Corey did, and she just told me she's in a red car. So that's what we were looking for.
At that time, was Miss Patterson inside of the vehicle?
I do not recall. But what I do recall is the owner of the vehicle getting out of the vehicle, and that became my primary concern.
Let's hold fast a little bit. We observed the two, you and Miss Corey, running towards the area of the vehicle. Why such the urgency?
Miss Patterson is a mutual friend of ours. She said she was in trouble. I don't play around when people are in trouble.
Can we play it from, it's paused at 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Can we play a little bit of it from there?
Go ahead.
Pause right there. Can you see Miss Patterson? It's paused at 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Do you see Miss Patterson in this video? Where's
Yes.
paused at right now?
Yes.
Is she inside the vehicle?
No, she is not.
Had you seen her before that?
Corey had spotted her, not me, before that. She did.
But it is fair to say that you're also in the area at that time, correct?
Not in this general frame, no. I'm
Not
actually outside the frame.
not the video, but you are present on the scene. Would that
Oh,
be fair
yes.
to say?
Yes.
And what happened at this point, if you recall?
At this point, there was a physical altercation between Mr. Brooks and Miss Corey and Miss Erica. I was more worried about Miss Patterson being hurt, so I went for her to get her out of the way. I stepped between them as best I could, and I told Mr. Brooks he needs to leave. He needs to get out of here. Does not belong out here.
Do you recall if there was a knife involved at that time?
No, that is a miscommunication, and I will clarify that. The Monday...
Hold on, there's not a question yet.
Okay.
He'll ask the questions. I appreciate that, but just answer the questions that are asked at this point. Go ahead.
Did you at any point during this Did you at any point during this altercation, did you observe Miss Patterson get back into the vehicle at that point?
I observed her reaching into the vehicle for something. I don't know if she was grabbing a purse or something or whatnot, but she was grabbing something of her personal property out of the vehicle.
Did you observe
while
her?
This was going on?
Did you observe her get into the vehicle?
No.
Can we play it from 3 minutes and 11 seconds, please?
Go ahead.
Pause it right there. Did you see yourself come into the frame in this vehicle?
Yes.
Would that be you there?
Yes.
It would be fair to say that you had some type of jacket on, or a black jacket?
At one
that
point, yes.
evening? What happened to your jacket at that point?
That jacket hit the ground as soon as Mr. Brooks started going for the two women.
So you threw the jacket off?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And what was your reason for throwing your jacket off?
Well, if the court don't hate me for it, I'm just going to say it's a good thing that there were two women in my way at that point in time.
And what do you mean by that?
That means when my jacket comes off, trouble's going to happen. Especially if you're trying to assault a woman in front of me.
So that gesture was an aggressive gesture?
Oh, that was a completely focused gesture.
Well, you did make reference to... Let me back up. Would it be fair to say that you just made reference to trouble following you throwing off your jacket?
No, not trouble following me.
Well, maybe that's the wrong way to put it, but...
I'm
there
confused
would be
by your
trouble.
question.
Excuse me?
Can you rephrase your question?
Oh, I will. I'm sorry about that. You made reference to there being trouble when your jacket comes off. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that that would be, or that could be, perceived as an aggressive gesture?
You mean as an...
Objection. Calls for speculation. How it's perceived calls for speculation.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
If you recall, who gave the report that there was a knife involved?
That was not put into a report. That was a miscommunication between me and an officer. I had been knifed earlier that week and had 12 stitches in one hand. I said, now I have a friend being assaulted and I need backup here. So when the police stopped and asked if there was a knife, I said, no, there was never any knife. I didn't have a knife. Miss Patterson, Miss Corey didn't have a knife. You didn't have a knife.
Did you get a chance to see the report that was taken by law enforcement from you?
Well, I'm the one. You mean you're talking about when I was on White Rock going to Miss Patterson?
No. The day of November 2020. The day of November 22nd, 2021. You made reference already to being interviewed by a detective, correct?
Yes.
And had you, after that, seen that report from that day?
No.
And you stated that the reporting of the knife was a miscommunication, you
Yes.
referred to it as?
Yes.
Did you at any time tell law enforcement that there was a knife involved in the altercation?
No.
Do you know if your friend Corey told law enforcement that there was a knife involved in the altercation?
No, she did not.
Do you know if your friend Miss Patterson told any law enforcement that there was a knife involved in the altercation?
She did not as well. No.
And how long before the incident on November 21 of 2021 had you known Miss Patterson up until that point?
Probably maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I want to back up to the phone call that you received from Miss Patterson.
Okay.
When she called you, did she give you a name of whoever may have been assaulting her?
She didn't have to. She was meeting one person that day, and I knew exactly who he was because she had showed me his picture and rap sheet prior. Her child's father, the father of their 15-year-old daughter, is who she was meeting up with that day. And I told her multiple times, it's not a good idea. I have a bad feeling about this.
Do you recall stating, well, actually, you testified to that here today. Do you recall stating that you walked past the red SUV that was parked?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say from the two exhibit videos that we watched today that you in fact did not walk past any SUV?
I most definitely walked past an SUV that was red on White Rock Avenue. Whether or not it was your specific SUV, it was still a red SUV. Up until this point, knowing Miss Patterson, I didn't know anything about the father of her child. I didn't know anything about his background except for what she showed me over the phone. Anything about his vehicle description, why would she need to tell me that?
Is it fair to say that the video doesn't show you walking past any red SUV?
If the video,
is that fair to say?
If the video proves that, then yes.
In the report that you, well, in the report that was taken from you by detective, do you yourself recall stating that the alleged defendant tried to punch and push you?
The alleged defendant being you? Yes. Attempted to.
Would it be fair to say from the video that it doesn't show you being pushed or?
No, it does not. It shows me pulling two women away from the situation.
Any reason why you would state to detectives that the alleged defendant attempted to punch and push you?
Probably because there were three different people's fists flying, and I was just trying to get the people that I cared about out of the way of danger. So if my statement to the detective is off a little bit after watching a bunch of people get run over, I can understand why.
So you were at the parade that day?
I was not at the parade that day. I was in the area
So
trying
how
to get back to my house.
so how can you watch people being run over if you weren't at the parade that day?
I wasn't attending the parade. I was in the area that the parade route was in. My street is the parade route.
Did you see anyone injured that day?
During
the parade?
Yes, after I walked back through that area,
You saw someone get injured?
I saw a red SUV take off like a bat out of hell down Main Street and go through a crowd of people.
The question was, did you see this take place?
With my own freaking eyes, yes. How many times do I have to say yes for you to understand it? YES spells yes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know how to.
Are you moving to strike the last response?
Yeah.
The jury will disregard the last response. I'm just going to remind both of you, please answer the questions that are asked. If follow-up needs to take place, either Mr. Brooks or the state will ask.
Is it fair to, well, in reference to the Exhibit 3 video that we just viewed?
You're talking about the one by the elementary school?
Yeah, the one the one that we just
checking.
which would be Exhibit 3. Is it fair to say from that vehicle? Got me.
Video.
I'm sorry. From that video, is it fair to say from that video that, in fact, there are not 3 people throwing punches? Would that be fair to say?
There are 3 people throwing hands in that video. Erica, Corey, and Mr. Brooks. Not myself. If you watch the video, you will see 3 pairs of hands go up towards one another. Whether one is stepping in to pull someone away from another or not, hands are being brought up.
Do you recall where you went after that altercation?
You mean where me and the 2 girls went? Where me and Miss Patterson and Miss Corey went?
Where you and
We
2
started.
friends went? Yes.
We started walking back. We turned to walk back the direction we had came, so taking White Rock to Main Street, and then cutting through the neighborhood there to get over to where the women's shelter was. That was where we were going at that point in time. However, things took a drastic turn when the red SUV that I have described multiple times went down the opposite direction of White Rock Avenue, across the railroad tracks and the intersection of Perkins and White Rock, and then turned back around and came back down. That is what you saw in the video here when the red vehicle pulled up on the school side of White Rock. After the altercation between Miss Patterson, Mr. Brooks, Miss Corey, and myself, the 3 of us, Miss Patterson, Miss Corey, we started to leave. I told Mr. Brooks, you need to get out of here. The police have been called. You need to leave. You need to leave now. You do not belong here. I did not expect.
Can you strike everything that's not pertaining to the question that was asked?
Actually, I'm just describing the entire event in its entirety.
I understand. I'll strike the response as being non-responsive to the question. The jury is to disregard it. Re-ask your question again.
Okay. Do you recall where you and your two female friends went after the altercation?
We started to head back in the direction of the women's shelter where they lived, where they were staying at the time.
Do you recall at any point during your travels to the women's shelter, as you referred to it, do you recall at any time coming into contact with another law enforcement officer?
Within that point in time, no. Except for the one that pulled out of Frame Park.
Do you recall at any time being stopped by a law enforcement officer on your way back to the women's shelter?
We were stopped partway down White Rock, and that was when I had told the officer, because he wouldn't get out of his SUV, I had let him know that they need to be on the lookout for a red SUV that took off back down White Rock towards Perkins Avenue, or street or road, whatever it is. The officer had asked me if there was someone with a knife, and that was when I held up my left hand, and I said no. I said I have 12 stitches from a knife injury on this hand, but this is what you need to be looking for, is this red SUV. And I'm guessing that's where the miscommunication of the knife came in, and I don't know where that officer went after that.
And would it be fair to say that that was the second law enforcement officer that you had spoke with that day, at that time?
Yes. You are referring to November 21st?
Correct.
Okay.
During that interaction with the second law enforcement officer, do you yourself recall stating that a black guy just assaulted my friend?
No.
Any reason why the officer would report that?
Objection calls for speculation.
Rounds.
Sustained. Calls for speculation.
Did you yourself sustain any injuries during the altercation?
I ripped open 3 stitches on my hand, but that was more so from pulling Miss Corey away from Mr. Brooks so we could get out of there.
Did you report to any law enforcement? Well, I guess that would refer to the second law enforcement officer that you spoke with. Did you report that to that officer?
No. Because at the time I didn't notice it. I didn't notice my hand was ripped open again until I got home.
So it would be fair to say that you don't know how those stitches opened up. Would that be fair to say?
No, I'm pretty sure I know how they opened. My stitches got caught on the zipper on Corey's backpack. That's how the stitches were ripped out of my hand when I was trying to pull her away from Mr. Brooks and intervene between her, Mr. Brooks, and Miss Patterson.
Knowing a little bit about stitches, would it be fair to say that a wound that was stitched being reopened would cause a little bit of pain? Would that be fair to say?
Objection. Relevance.
Rounds.
Sustained. Relevance.
Did you notice any blood from the stitches being reopened?
Didn't feel anything until I actually looked at it when I got home. 12 stitches coming across my thumb in kind of like a fish hook type pattern. It was the 2 over here that ripped open and the 1 up here. Or actually, I take that back, the 1 up here.
So just for the record, he's holding his left hand. He had his thumb out, extended almost like an L, but with the other fingers almost like a C, and he was pointing to his left thumb, near, I would say, the middle of the thumb, and then the curve of the thumb where on the inside where it goes up toward the index finger. Sorry, I have to make a record of all.
No, that's fine.
Go ahead.
So was it 2 stitches that opened or 3?
Objection. Relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer, but then move on.
It was 3.
And do you recall what time you made it home that evening?
Absolutely not.
Was it immediately after the altercation or sometime after? Or?
No, I took the girls back to the shelter, and then I started running back towards Main Street to try and see if I could avoid the parade traffic. And that's when I saw the red SUV go down Main Street.
And do you recall speaking with your women friends after you had made it home that evening?
Yes.
Did at any time you indicate to them that
Objection. Hearsay.
Hold on. Let him finish the question. He was asking what he indicated to them.
Question. I thought that's what I said.
You can ask your question. That's what I thought you were saying too.
Did you yourself at any time indicate to your female friends that you had sustained injury during the altercation?
No.
Objection to relevance.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
In the time that you had known Miss Patterson up until that day of November 21st of 2021, had you yourself ever heard Miss Patterson refer to the alleged defendant by a different name?
Objection to relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. The witness may answer if he knows.
No. You mean like an alias or something?
A different name.
Well, okay, that could, a nickname, an alias. I mean, let's be specific here.
Did Miss Patterson ever refer to him with another name, if you recall?
Not that I can personally recall, no, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Do you recall if, to your knowledge, was your friend Miss Corey, as you referred to her, do you recall her stating that she was injured during the altercation?
She did tell me that she I believe she like hurt her finger or her fingernail or something like that, but I don't think it was relevant to the incident that had happened.
What do you mean by you don't think it was relevant to the incident that happened?
Just shows relevance.
Sustained is to the form of the question.
No further questions?
Before I decide whether to do cross at this time, how long do you believe it will be?
0 minutes because I have no cross.
All right, thank you. Then you can sit down, and we're going to take a break.
Thank you, ma'am.
Give me a second. I'll rise for the jury. Let me excuse the jury for a second.
A 40-year-old man acting like a child.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. You may sit down, sir. And I presume he may be released from his subpoena, Mr. Brooks. You're done questioning him?
Yeah, I don't think he's no longer needed.
All right, you are released from your subpoena, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's take about a 15-minute break. Anything we need to address prior to that, or can we go when we come back?
Nope. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Brooks, work with the state, please, for the next witness. We have them available.
That was a complete waste of the court's time. Join us in the next video as Brooks continues to call witnesses that seal his conviction. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe on your way out, and feel free to leave a comment. Have a blessed day.